all, this is me. Welcome to the channel. Today, the topic of our discussion is atherosclerotic plaque formation. So, in this video, we will see what are the big reasons of the atherosclerotic plaque formation and what are the molecular mechanics of the atherosclerotic plaque formation. So there are basically two main reasons of the atherosclerotic plaque formation. First one is the hypertension and second one is the increased level of LDL, low density lipoprotein above the normal. So first we will see how hypertension uh, is going to cause atherosclerotic plaque formation, and then we will see how increased level of the low density lipoprotein causes the atherosclerotic plaque formation. So basically, in general, our blood circulation or our blood flow goes into the laminar flow. Due to increased blood pressure or hypertension, this laminar blood flow got disrupted and it turns into the turbulent flow, and into the turbulent flow our blood cells, which are monocytes, which are the macrophages, which are T cell, B cell, they move, generally they move into the center of the blood vessel. But due to the hypertension, this movement got disrupted and these cells, macrophages, monocytes, B lymphocytes, and other cells of blood, they move to the periphery of the blood vessel. When they move to periphery of the blood vessels, they then got stick to the endothelium of the blood vessel, and then we will see what is the rest of the mechanism, that how atherosclerotic plaque is formed. So now the second reason is the increased level of low density lipoprotein. So when the low density lipoprotein increases in the blood up to the mark or up to the normal level, what happens is they get oxidized by the different type of the oxygen free radicals which are normally generated in our body, like superoxides, like nitric oxide, which are normally produced in our blood vessels to some sort of dilate the blood vessels. These are also known as prostacyclines and hydrogen peroxide and other oxidants. So these low density lipoprotein are then being oxidized by these free radicals. So when these low density lipoprotein are then oxidized by these free radicals, they are eaten up by our cells of defense like macrophages and monocytes, T lymphocytes or B lymphocytes. So basically what happens is when the cell injury occurs to the blood vessels of our blood vessels, so this injury may be due to two reasons. First one is the hypertension and second one is the increased level of the LDL, low density lipoprotein. So first, in response to endothelial injury, which may be due to the hypertension or which may be due to increased level of low density lipoprotein. In response to endothelial injury caused at least in part by oxidized LDL, low density lipoprotein. And we know when the blood vessel is got injured, the monocytes and other cells come into that place and some sort of take care of that place. Then monocytes adhere to endothelial cells, move to the subendothelium, and are transformed into the macrophages. So this is the first step. And what is the second step? So the thing that I have already talked about, that these oxidized low density lipoprotein are being engulfed by these macrophages, which comes at the site of that particular place. And these oxidized low density lipoprotein are basically the food for the macrophages which comes to that particular site of injury. And these oxidized low density lipoprotein are then being engulfed by special type of receptors which are present on the surface of the macrophages. These are the receptors which are known as scavenger receptors. So when these oxidized lipoprotein are being engulfed by the macrophages and they become some sort of fluffy in their nature, so that's why they are termed as foam cells. So macrophages consume excessive modified oxidized lipoprotein becomes foam cells, and when they become foam cells, they then release some sort of chemokines, interleukins, interferons, and then the interferons, cytokines, and interleukins, which are being released by these foam cells, they then start calling the other uh, macrophages, monocytes, and other cells of the body or other cells of the immune system. When these cells come to that place, they then start accumulating on that place into the cells of the blood vessels. So in this way, basically these foam cells and this some sort of debris which is being accumulated on that particular place is basically leads to the formation of atherosclerotic plaque formation. Hope so you enjoyed this video. Please do me a favor, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much.